What's up everyone? Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Today we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin and its recent price action, along with some talk about news and fundamentals, and with the price prediction for the short and the long term as well. Before we begin, we'd just like to say thank you so much to everyone for their continued support, the likes and subscribers, Patreon and YouTube members, and all your amazing comments and sharing. We appreciate you all so much at the channel, and we've been growing incredibly fast recently, so thank you to all of you. Our community has been growing amazingly well recently. It's all down to you guys, so thank you so much. If you want to support the channel, please like and subscribe so you don't miss any videos, and turn on bell notifications as well. We're posting 4 videos per day, so come back every day for daily updates and analysis. In any instance, you can sign up to our free Telegram via the description. This is not financial advice. Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Let's begin. So as we're all aware of recently, there has been quite a large downturn for Bitcoin, and it has led the market down quite significantly in general. We do think there are a variety of factors to this. There was some general FUD in the market for quite some time. As you can see, Bitcoin basically a week or so ago, about around 2 weeks ago now, was trading at around $60,000. But then obviously we got the Tesla FUD combined with some environmentalist FUD. And then also there was Tether FUD and lots of other FUD. So basically a lot of FUD in the market. And this is one of the indicators that we've seen in previous cycles, that we're about halfway through the bull run when all of the FUD starts coming out about cryptocurrency, saying that it's basically failed, like Bitcoin's dead, cryptocurrency is going to fail, it's never going to get adopted by the mainstream, etc, etc. And we just kind of wanted to provide some perspective on Bitcoin today. We don't usually do Bitcoin videos because they are fairly low performing, and also the people do a lot of Bitcoin videos obviously, so there's quite a lot of content out there already, but we did just want to add our 5 cents about what's going on. So from what we can tell, that Bitcoin had been in a fairly significant downtrend for quite some time, but we didn't think that it would really be breaking these levels at around 42 43k here. As we can see, obviously if we look back to historical points of support and resistance, there's quite a large and strong support here. Basically in this channel, as we can see, there is a lot of support and resistance historically, previous swing high and a previous swing low here. As we can quite clearly see, the swing low is at around 29k, which we actually did come back down and test here quite significantly. Obviously with this recent capitulation that we saw in the market, we did actually come down and see us retest these kinds of lows here. So we wouldn't be expecting Bitcoin to go any lower unless there was some kind of massive capitulation in the market again. But we do feel like there is quite a lot of manipulation happening currently. As we can see, we were ranging, we're essentially ranging here. We broke back down below this point of resistance, historical resistance here, as we can see, below this 47,000 point of support here. So we broke below support. We dropped to the next support, which was around 43k here. As we can see, we've actually dropped through that as well. And once we did that, which we think was under the duress of manipulation in the market, we obviously saw this big sell-off, as we can see, all the way down to around 28k, I think, on some exchanges. But it says here around 29k, so we came all the way down to this. And then, obviously, it's very interesting to us that we recovered so quickly as we did. We actually came back up, basically retested this previous support as resistance, bounced ahead off it, and then we actually came back down. But we didn't actually retest the previous low, the previous wick down. We did retest the low, but we didn't actually wick down as far as before. As we can see, we didn't actually quite come down as far as before either in terms of price action. If you look at around here, this is around 34k here. We actually made a higher low here. So this could be potentially a sign that maybe there's some kind of double bottom here, but with a higher low, which would tend to suggest that we could potentially come to the upside again. I think it's definitely possible if Bitcoin can break through this 42.5k resistance here, that it's been basically fell through a support, come back, bounced its head off resistance, come back down again. But we've not made a lower low here. We've actually made higher lows on the wicks and also on the candles themselves. So if Bitcoin can come back up and retest this again, maybe bounce off retest, we could potentially break through it and come back into this channel. Why is my undo not working? There we go. Undo. If we can basically come back up, show signs of a double bottom reversal here, come back up and break through this, and then maybe range inside this area for a while before retesting and breaking through, we do think that Bitcoin is going to recover. We'd just like to reiterate that we don't believe the bull market is over. A lot of people have been screaming that the bear market is here already, but it remains to be seen really at this point which way we could go. Obviously, if we drop into the low 20s again and don't see any sign of a strong bounce, then obviously there's a reason to be concerned. But there have been previous bull cycles where 50 to 60% corrections did happen, and there was a small period of consolidation and withdrawing in the middle before one final push to the upside. So it does remain to be seen what's going to happen. But we'd just like to reiterate that our blue trend line here has actually not been broken. And as we can see, if the trend line is anything to go by, we've basically become very, very overextended from the trend line that we can see here. We've actually come up, we've formed some kind of a head and shoulders, as we can see here, and then we've broke to the downside basically. But we are finding support in key areas, and obviously this is important to note because it's very important that we find support and don't just free fall all the way back to 20k, because I do think that the bull market would be in jeopardy if this happened, and we basically erased the entirety of the gains that we've seen in the past 6 months for Bitcoin. But as we can quite clearly see, this blue trend line is so far still being respected. We did actually get a double bounce off of the trend line as well. We're also bouncing off of this key level of resistance here at around 35.5k, which if we look is actually quite a historical area of structure. So we would like to see Bitcoin heading back up to the upside very soon. But obviously it's currently quite speculative about what's going to happen currently. But we're basically caught between two points of historical resistance and support. As we can see, we're basically bouncing around in this area, and we do need to see us breaking back up above this 42.5k here before we can see a continuation, in our opinion. It may take a while for this to happen, or it may happen really quickly, but it's hard to say at this point. There is still the small possibility that we come back down and retest this previous swing low here, as we can see, where there would basically be support and resistance at around 28.5k here, all the way down here. We could potentially come back down and see those sorts of levels being tested, which would be around here. I might just move this for posterity. Basically, there is the potential that we could come to the downside again, as we can see here, for one final push to the downside. Because as we can see, we did wick down here, but we didn't actually quite retest this previous swing low. And this is quite important for continuation in a bull market, because you need to come back down and retest these points of support before you can basically make a move to the upside, a strong bounce as it were. So it remains to be seen if either of these instances will happen, but it's just something that we wanted to draw your attention to. There's also one final thing that we wanted to mention that we saw in the charts. We've actually formed quite a strong line of resistance here, as we can see. If we just adjust this a little bit so you can see it a bit more clearly. We've formed quite a strong point of resistance here. As we can see, there we go. As we can see, we're currently in quite a strong downtrend for Bitcoin, and we basically want to be seeing Bitcoin break to the upside. We've obviously been struggling to break up out of this downward trend that we're forming here. As you can see, there's probably a channel, you could say, that is forming here. And we're struggling to break out of it at the minute. I think if we break out of it, this will be the first positive sign for Bitcoin. And then if we can break back into this area here where we were trending before, that would be a major win for Bitcoin, I think. This would be a good sign of a reversal, because we'd most likely make a higher low. This is the low and then the higher low. And then if we break through to this, we'll probably come back down, retest this as a higher low. And that'd be another tick that we can see a continuation. But yeah, we would like to reiterate that we don't believe that the bull market is over. This is obviously a huge correction, but we do think that there are a few factors at play, and these kinds of things are designed to shake out the weak hands. And we have seen some talk of market manipulation that does seem to be quite a lot of truth in it. So we would advise everyone not to panic. Just take every day as it comes and see how things go. But we do believe that we have tested some key levels now, and we could potentially be seeing a bounce for Bitcoin in the next few weeks for sure. Our short-term price targets would be, we need to get back above this 42.5k, and then if we can get above this 46.5k here, I think the continuation from there would be very strong. But obviously currently there's a lot of fear in the market and uncertainty, so it might take a while for this to happen. We might actually see a retest of these lows, and potentially this 28.5k line that we've outlined here could be retested before we break to the upside as well. So long-term price predictions for Bitcoin, we still think it's going well over 100k. It almost seems inevitable at this point, and regardless of the short term, sometimes it's important just to get some perspective, look at the market as a wider whole, and just see that we're still massively up, and we're probably going to see further price action upwards. in essentially the next 6 months or so. So that's our price prediction for Bitcoin today, guys. We'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please let us know down in the comment section below. Also, make sure to hit the like button as it helps the channel out so much. So if you're a fan of the channel, please hit the like button now. Currently, only 10% of our viewers are subbed, and we'd love to see our community continue to grow more. So please hit the big red subscribe button. If you'd like to support the channel more directly, please sign up to our Patreon via the link in the description below, or sign up to YouTube membership by hitting the join button right next to the sub below this video, where you can get access to our private Discord. We're going to be offering a host of additional benefits, including coin calls, and the higher tiers gain one-to-one access to us personally, as well as a look at our personal portfolio, our daily research of cryptos with massive potential, and not to mention a 100x portfolio that we're currently constructing. So please take advantage of that there. Don't forget to get 2 free stocks with Webull by signing up and then depositing $100 using our link in the description below. You can quite literally deposit the $100, get your 2 free stocks, and then withdraw the money, so there's no reason not to do that, and they could be valued all the way up to $1,600 each, but don't forget to actually deposit as well after signing up. You can also sign up to our free Telegram via the description as well. All the links are in the description for affiliate links for discounts and free crypto. Please like and subscribe. We are Crypto Maximalists.